Hey there, this guide is going to give you some tips and tricks to Lucioball, whether you want to get better in quick play or climb that last few SR in competitive. Hello guys and welcome to the Dojo. One of the most popular game modes in Overwatch today is Lucioball. It's a game mode that a majority look forward to every year, playing it non-stop till the end of the Summer Games event. This video is in collaboration with our good friend Fresco, a top 500 Lucioball player. Welcome Fresco, please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Fresco, and I am a top 500 Lucioball player. When it first came out in 2016, I played it casually with friends, but when Copa Lucioball came out in 2017, I peaked at 3999 SR and finished it at rank 417. That was top 500 at the time. This season I peaked at 4099 SR and ranked 156. That is my Lucioball journey.
Well, that's one heck of a climb there. Now, as with any competitive mode, there are some major and minor differences between the different ranks of play. But does Lucioball have differences in play depending on ranks? What's the biggest difference between low SR and high SR games?
I would say that team play and mechanics are better in higher ranks, because in lower rank games they just play solo and trying to make goals instead of the strikers passing the ball to each other to try and bait the goalkeeper and make good plays, together like high SR players do in those games. In the higher rank games people use their mechanics and team play more. For example, using your punch to score goals or trying to bait the goalkeeper into making an opening. Strikers use the jump pad a lot because the goalkeeper shoots a high ball, then the striker jumps on the jump pad and can score a goal. It's a good method to use, and they pass a lot in high ranks.
Interesting. How do you communicate with your team during a match? Any special callouts in voice comms or chat?
I usually use I need help in goal or guys go up and stay on each side. Those are the callouts I use the most when I'm in a game. I also use pass me when I play striker and I'm trying to get the ball passed around to bait out an opening. You can use I'm in the middle. That means you're between the jump pads on the attack side when you play striker.
Now we have some proper terms. But what do you do if teammates don't want to partake in team communication?
When I play with a team that has no comms, then I usually play goalkeeper, because I don't like playing striker when we have no comms. So when I play goalkeeper and my teammates are playing strikers, I usually pass the ball to the side that they're on and I just do my best to not let the enemy team score. So if you get a team with no comms, then just try to do your best at the role you are put into.
That's a creative way of handling that situation. As is with normal comp, there are roles to fill in certain positionings that work well with different skill levels. What are some of the best formations for Lucioball?
One setup that works well is having two goalkeepers and one striker. Can work when there is no strong goalkeeper on the team. This is more of a defensive setup, so you won't be in a high scoring game. But if you do have a good goalkeeper, it is a good idea to play two strikers and one goalkeeper. The strikers stand on each jump pad on the attacking side and wait for a pass from the goalkeeper. Another setup is playing one striker, one defender and one goalkeeper. Using this formation depends on how skilled the teams are in the game, because when it's really high level game, you need a defender because your goalkeeper may struggle if the two enemy strikers outplay him and bait him.
Positioning is key no matter what version of comp you're playing. Sadly, that doesn't always play out when we solo queue. So when we do solo queue, which position should we prepare to play?
In my opinion, it is goalkeeper, because when you solo queue, most players play as strikers in your games. When I solo queue and I don't get a good goalkeeper often, so I just play goalkeeper to avoid conflicts.
Now that we've gone over positioning, let's look into the different roles that are in Lucioball. Walk us through the lifestyle of a striker.
If you want to practice your striking moves, you go to a custom game and start up Lucioball with a friend. Tell them to do high balls to you while you are jumping on the jump pads and trying to score. Callouts could be pass me on the left when you're on the left, or pass me on the right when you are on the right. Positioning of a striker is that you stay on the jump pads on the left and right, then just wait for a pass and you can go for the balls in the middle as a striker / defender. As a striker, you need to be able to get back to your goal to help your goalkeeper. Grinding can be a good way to practice on getting back to your goal.
Those are some good pointers. So, moving on to the next role, the defender.
I don't know much about the defender role, but if you want to practice as a defender, play Lucioball and focus on your playstyle. Learning the mechanics of this position is the best done while playing a game. For example, you punch onto the wall and then shoot the ball to try and bait the person that's coming to you, or you can punch over him and wall run behind him and then shoot or pass. A few callouts can be I got it, and it means that you take the ball instead of the goalkeeper, or a middle, that means that you're between the jump pads and the striker will know that you're there so he can pass you if needed.
Solid tips. Now to the final one and one of the most important roles. How does one play and practice as a goalie?
As a goalkeeper, you wanna stay in the goal and not go out too far to try and get the ball, because then an enemy player can come for the ball, and when you shoot it, the enemy player will just shoot it over you after you shot it, and then they get the goal. So never go out too far from the goal. In my opinion, you're gonna need to grind goalkeeper in comp because they play to win, at least most of the time. After you have grinded, then will you learn how the enemy strikers try to make a goal, and you will get better as goalkeeper if you practice to save goals. Ask a friend and go to a custom game and start Lucioball and just sail in goal, and your friend is gonna shoot the ball at you and you're gonna try to save it and do it in different scenarios. One such scenario is up close guarding, when the enemy striker uses a jump pad and shoots it in there and you try to save it. Goal to goal. Others are when he punches the ball to the wall and then he shoots it, or when he uses ultimate. Then can you bring another friend, so they play two strikers against one goalkeeper, and you try to save the ball while they are passing each other and trying to score a goal on you. If you do this, then will you be able to be a good goalkeeper, or you can grind goalkeeper and learn the role on the way, and same with striker and defender.
Some great advice all around. Now we know everything that we need for getting prepared for competitive Lucioball. But we can't do this guide without asking, what are some of your favorite trick shots and how can we do them to live out our inner Lucio Beckham?
I have 3 favorite trick shots actually. The first one is you get the high pass by a goalkeeper and then you jump on the jump pad and punch the ball onto the wall. Then you turn around so you look at the goal and shoot to make the goal. The enemy goalkeeper might save it, so it's not a sure thing, but you look cool doing it. The other thing is when you are goalkeeper and just do a high ball to their goal from your goal. It's pretty easy to do as you do the high ball in their goal. Unfortunately, every goalkeeper can save that one, but you can score if the enemy goalkeeper makes a mistake. The last one is when you use your ultimate and just shoot around the goal so it bounces back to you a few times, and then you shoot and try to make a score unless you see an opportunity before when you're dancing around the goal. This one will be a bit harder if they have defenders, because then can they just shoot the ball away, but it's worth a try.
Thank you for your attention. Thanks again to Fresco for joining us in creating this guide. Hopefully this helps increase your SR on Lucioball. We hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Goodbye.
This time we'll have to join forces.